Hi everybody. Hope everybody's well, happy and safe. And as I say, always I hope that you do find your spiritual match in 2019. I want to talk about a subject today, okay? It's of interest and I think you'll find it very interesting because I just want to talk about the National Disability Scheme and what's happening there, okay? Because this has been going for a long time, this National Disability Scheme, or quite a while anyway, and they've always seemed to have problems, complications. And I myself do know people that have disabilities. Disabilities not only they were born with, but they have had problems in life where they've become sick and they've formed disabilities. I myself do have a disability. I wasn't born with it, but through life, one thing to another has led where I've become sick, and I do have an internal disability. So this is why I'm finding it very interesting. Okay, everybody I talk to has one thing to say. There's complications with the National Disability Scheme. And it's always the form of they either can't get enough funding or they've been knocked back or there's not enough points or they have equipment that's delivered that's half there or they've lost their funding or one thing or another. Okay. And what I've been following on the news over the last couple of days is extraordinary because, I mean, they're still having complications with this scheme and it should be rolled out by now with people that have that support, and it is there. The government, so-called, has given funding, but where's the funding? I mean, it's ridiculous. If you look, okay, and as I said, there's all sorts of forms of disabilities, okay? Some are born with this, okay, and that should be as clear as a fly on one's nose, or do I live in Aussie? You know, so that should be as clear as that. And people that have formed disabilities over their lifetime through either sickness or accidents or that sort of thing should be recognised also, and a lot don't. And this is where the problem is, okay? Because if you look on the news, what's actually happening, they've got how many criteria do you have to go through or jump through like hoop after hoop to get any recognition that you do or you were or you are with a disability? I mean, they've got where you have to apply, okay, with your documentation, whatever else, to even be considered. That's one hoop, okay? The initial phone call or the initial, writing out the documentation. Then you've got to wait, really, right, for the second invisible hoop, which is, yes, you are entitled or no, you're not. Okay? People tend to forget about that. And then, thirdly, if you're lucky to say, yes, you're entitled, yes, you can, then you've got the third hoop. And that's the caseworker, a person that's assigned to you to try and modify your life and give you support in every way, shape or possible to make your life and enhance your life and give you freedom of choice so you have the choice to have quality of life. So that's third. And then on top of that, that's not where it ends. And then they've got a planner. They say it's got to go back to a planner. Can you please explain? The government, I don't think, is actually clear enough on how or what they're implementing and what it means. What's a planner? I mean, there's so many types of planners. There's what? A planner for a garden, a planner for a project, to build a property. There's planners for cleaning. There's planners for everything. I mean, what is that? It's got to go to a planner after it goes to a caseworker. Well, what is this caseworker or this person assigned to you after you initially jump through those two hoops? First off, like I said, okay, you've got to apply for it. Okay, that's documentation, or ringing up and applying for it. Secondly, this invisible one is yes you are or no you're not. And then if you're lucky to yes you are, you're entitled, you've got to go to the third hoop, which is what? The caseworker, then the fourth hoop. The planner, it's got to go back to the planner. What is that? This is where it's getting complicated because they've got so many different people involved where it should be a unit. It should be as one. These people should be connected from the word go. And they're not. They're going from one person to another. It's got to go from a caseworker. It's got to go to a planner. And then from where then? Where from a planner? What do they do? Do they come out, modify, home for rails, or modify your tats because you've got carpal tunnel, or you've got arthritis and you're crippled and you can't do a damn thing? Or what do they do? Please explain, government, because I don't think that you are explaining. And I don't think in everybody's eyes that has a disability, come on, you've got to agree, whether you're born with it or not, or it's internal, or psychological, or whatever. They haven't made it clear. And these people, we are getting confused because the government goes, yes, there is funding, but you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and then it's got to go through this criteria. It's got to go through so many hoops, it's not funny. And these people that have applied for it, they need it. They sincerely need it. You can see that. But they've got to beg and squabble. I mean, is that right? I don't think so. And these governments say that, they're going to do voting. That's great. But is it really going to help the National Disability Scheme? Because I think they're confused. They've got so many loopholes you've got to jump through, and then, caseworkers and planners and que sera. What is this? Why isn't there just one single unit it goes through from the word go and completed? And then from there, then they have follow-up caseworkers that go in once a month and modifies people's lives and what they need and to enhance it. And it shouldn't have to take weeks or months. It should be done there and then, within the next week of the visit of whatever the person needs, all their needs, or their modifications, or whatever they need in their life when they applied for this National Disability Scheme. You've got plenty of agencies, but I think the people that are working there, they're not a team. They're just going through one hoop to another. Anyway, that's my concern, and I intend to put a little bit more input when I find out more, because it's upsetting. I've applied for the National Disability Scheme and been knocked back. Okay. So, I haven't got enough points or whatever the case, but now I'm quite sick. I may apply for it again, but I do expect to be knocked back. So, listen to this, and I just want to share that because I thought that was very important. These people, we are trying, people with a disability, there's an association with millions of people, and we're associated through one thing, having a disability. And I think that should be recognised. And we have many spokesmen and spokeswomen on this matter. But it does fall on deaf ears. Why isn't there a person that has a disability and is in the association because they've lived the life of having a disability, and they know what it's like and they know what's needed, put in Parliament? That would be good, wouldn't it? So all I'm saying is that people out there, it's very, very, very disappointing because you hear so much on how much and how many hoops and criteria you've got to go through. And it's really sad, Anyway, take care, and as I always say from the Guru, please look after yourself, take conscience, and as I said, my 4 codes: respect, dignity, honour, and integrity. They're the most important. Bye until then. Bye.